Welcome to the World of Horror podcast with Mom and Mac. I'm Mom.
And I'm Mac.
This is the podcast where we share our love of international horror. Everyone has their fears, but we are not afraid of subtitles. Disclaimers for adult language and spoilers. Hi, Mac. How's it going?
Hi, Mom. It's going. It's going good because let me tell you what, when I started work Monday of last week, I checked my calendar and me in January gave myself a little surprise. Me in January took Friday off and I totally forgot about it. And it was like, it felt so, like maybe it shows where my mental state was, but I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. So I've had tomorrow will be the fourth day of my 4-day weekend. So
yes,
I feel rejuvenated, which is really nice.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, you in the past was really looking out.
I know. Thanks, old me. Like I put that in January. Like I was really like, he's going to need this. How are you?
Did you do anything special?
Oh, did I? No. I did. Okay. Well, let me tell you something else. I had been struggling and I really don't know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. It's because my birthday's coming up and I don't know when this started, but I just kind of get neurotic around my birthday now. And I think it's also because I'm turning 30. So there is all these swirling emotions of like I've just been really anxious lately. And it's all stuff I know is irrational, but it's the kind of stuff of like, nobody likes you, all your friends hate you, nobody likes being around, stuff like that logically is not true, but still when it's being like yelled in your head, you're like, maybe there is some truth to this. And then added in birthday. So then it's like, what are you doing with your life? Blah, blah, blah. So I realized like I was sitting in this chair Friday, just like in a movie, I would be sitting here and the camera would be shaking and it would be like, whoa. And then I was like, let me do something, like just do anything else. And I realized I had not watched like a narrative driven TV show in forever. Cause I think I've like messed up my attention span from like Instagram reels and stuff. So I know The Boys just ended. I never watched season 4. So I said, let me watch season 4 of The Boys and put together a Gundam model. And you know what? That was just what the doctor ordered because I felt instantly better. Like it, because, all these things put together, like I'd heard a lot about the season, heard people not liking it. Now I have my own opinion. Like I think I just been on the internet too much and not enough just living life. And I know maybe that sounds funny to a listener being like, watching TV? What do you mean? I think media can take us places and it was nice to be taken to another world. So that felt good.
Good. That's good.
And there was kind of like a bittersweet thing. The actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan, known from Supernatural. He played Negan in The Walking Dead and plenty other things. My dad loved him. He loved Negan. He loved, tough old guys. And he was introduced in season 4 and he's just playing the ultimate cliche tough old guy. And it was like a sweet moment because I was like 10% sad because I was like, oh, he didn't get to see this. But 90% it felt like he was with me kind of. Like I was like, he would love this. Like this character was made for him. And it was kind of funny because whenever my dad would act like a tough old guy, I'd be like, oh my God, this is so cringe. What is wrong with him? But I was thinking back fondly on it. Like, that was kind of silly, but that was him. And so it was like bittersweet. And then, sorry, spoiler alert, a character's dad dies in the hospital on that season. And so, but it was like sad in a cathartic way where I was like, wow, I wonder if somebody on the writing staff experienced something similar to me. And it felt good to like feel those emotions. So that was nice.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. I'm glad that you could find meaning in that. That's
Yeah.
great.
How has your weekend been?
Well, the weekend's been fine. Fine. It was completely rainy and nasty yesterday, and on Friday morning we had bulk trash pickup day, and I've been
Ooh.
trying to clean out my house this summer. It's one of my projects for the summer. And so I I put the stuff out there, and then it rained and the boxes got all soggy and like, disintegrated and everything. So then I had to like go out in between the like raining portions of the day and
Ugh.
like, get the stuff and put them in fresh boxes and stuff. And now they're on my porch.
Mhm.
Just sort of sitting there waiting for the next 2 weeks, and hopefully it'll be a sunny day on that day. But anyway, somebody did take my soda stream thing and my
Nice.
coffee maker. So that's good. They got new homes. That's great. Um, I have just sort of a grim I had sort of a grim week. Two two people I know lost their dogs, and so that is always really rough. And then my old running coach died.
Oh
Um,
no, I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
so it's been really nice to see all the tributes coming in from all these people, and I I ran for, I don't know. I haven't run since COVID. So that's been 6 years. But I ran for maybe 6 years before that, and maybe a little longer. And he was really helpful to me, obviously, in terms of um, getting in shape and like eating properly and learning how to recover. And I did boot camps and things like that to like sort of offset the running routines. And yeah, it's a huge loss to the city and the running community. And so I've just been reading these posts on Instagram and Facebook, what people how people felt and how they're going to miss him and the
Mm.
impact that he had on their lives. And it's just kind of amazing to see, the impact that one person can have like on an area. Just
Yeah.
really, really amazing. But yeah, it's a huge loss. So I've been
Yeah.
kind of sad about that. I kind of
Yeah.
felt like it was coming, but yeah.
That's still, yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. And with one of my friends who lost her dog, I immediately told somebody else about the loss of the dog. And then I felt terrible because I was just like, I wasn't given explicit permission to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of left my second friend in a place where like she knew this bad news, but like she couldn't reach out to my first friend to say anything. And I was just like, what do I do? And I was
Mm.
just sort of in this tizzy. So I asked somebody what I should do. And she said, oh, I've done that a bunch. Like what you do is you go to your first friend and you just say what you did and you apologize for doing that. And then usually they're cool with it. But if they're not, then you just know for next time, you don't spread news that isn't yours to spread. And I was like, okay. So I did
That's a
that.
good
I went to
friend
my
to give that
friend.
advice.
Yeah, it was. It was perfect. And so I went to my first friend and I told her, and she was like, that's okay. And it was all okay. But I sat in it for about a day and a half, just sort of feeling like, oh no, I'm the worst.
Oh
I've
no.
done this terribly awful, inconvenient, and horrible thing to two friends now.
Oh God, you poor thing. I want to give you
yeah.
a hug. Like I relate so much because I think I might have done that actually exact same thing. Like close friend of mine, her dog passed, and I was so sad. And I think I told somebody, and I felt like, oh well, I'm just like I'm maybe the worst friend the world has ever seen. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
you know,
No.
you're you're emotional, and that's like, or like you said, it's a lesson for next time. And I feel like it's been such an important thing for me to learn of just like, what why do I even have to be perfect? Like I know plenty of people who make mistakes and I say, oh, well, they're human. Like I do that all the time for people in my life or even strangers where I'm like, well, they must be having a bad day. So why don't I deserve the same thing too?
Yeah, it's hard to be it's not being even gentle on ourselves, it's like being realistic.
Yes.
Like why are we so special that we're a piece of shit for doing these things that we forgive other people for?
Yes.
Like we're not. So just get over it. It was not the best thing I could have done, but it's definitely not the worst thing I could have done. So
yeah. And I think it
fine.
speaks a lot to you to think about your friend, seek help for it, and to do the brave thing and talk to them. Like, I feel like that speaks to you being a good friend.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. Well, I definitely wanted to make it right. I just didn't know, because believe me, I had all this like scheming.
I believe you.
Because I was going to like send flowers and then my friend was going to like go in on it with me. But then I had to tell my friend, well, I don't think I should put your name on the flowers. And it was just like this whole thing. But at first I was like, oh, I think if I say it's from me and this other person, that'll be good enough. And it's just like this whole confused thing in my head about what to do and the best right thing to do. And for a while it was like, how do I let myself off the hook when it wasn't me to let myself off the hook? So yeah, it was just a lesson.
We're so fucked up. I mean that it's like I mean it with love because I just relate so much of being like, now here's my 10-step plan to totally not be in the wrong for this. Get over yourself. Like it's okay. It's also okay. Like
yeah. It's hard to learn these things, and that's the other thing too. I'm like, why don't I know how to be a better person by now? It's like, oh my gosh, just let it go. It's okay. I'm going to screw up. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something again that's going to hurt somebody in the future. It will guaranteed happen.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Just make amends. That's all I can do.
I sometimes struggle with honestly, with people I'm close to saying if I'm really emotional, like a thing that I could regret later. And so I used to do the whole well, I'll never do that again. Well, the better thing to do was to start thinking, oh, when this feeling comes, take a second and be like, should I say this out loud? And even if it feels like it would feel so good, wait and trust me. And that has actually worked better because to actually accept I will be petty in the future. I will maybe say something mean, but to be my brain neurons start firing and then it's like, what did we say? And I'm like, okay. And then it adds, reinforcement to be like, and I am so glad I didn't say the petty thing. Go yes. Me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a better win, a more satisfying win not to say the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I totally get that one too. And we always have that choice. You might say to yourself after the fact, well, it just slipped out.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way that works. I can always hear it in my head before I say it. So you have a choice whether or not you say it or not.
I've been trying to also think and what am I trying to gain from this? And what is the face this person will make? And what, let's think 2 steps ahead. And then I think oh, I'm basically telling them to, that they're annoying or to shut up. What am I gaining? Hurting them. So, but in that moment, it can feel so I would just want to.
I know, or say it under your breath so they can just barely hear it.
No, that was nothing. I didn't say anything.
What did you say? You said something.
Yeah, that was you, and you're projecting. Well, you know who you know who said some things that weren't great, I think.
The guy
Boyfriend.
in Willow Creek?
You got it.
That's what I thought you were going for.
You read my mind. Well, host.
So,
You go.
well, this week we're talking about found footage movies. And our first film is Willow Creek, and Mac's going to take this one.
All right, folks. Willow Creek. This is my third time viewing this movie. And I just want to say I am long time been a fan of the found footage genre. And this used to be a favorite of mine, but maybe third time was not the charm, because watching it this time, I've got some thoughts, but we'll get into it. So Willow Creek. Here is the short plot summary from IMDb. A man and his girlfriend camp in the woods to capture first-hand evidence of Bigfoot. It was written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. It stars Alexi Gilmore and Bryce Johnson, with cinematography by Evan Phelan, edited by Stephen Thurston and Jason Stewart. It was released April 29th, 2013 at BIFF and June 6th, 2014 in the US, with a runtime of 80 minutes. I mean, you gotta love that runtime. Dare I say, it could have been shorter. What does that tell you? So, real quick, I just want to say, this is why I like found footage. It can be low budget, and I like low barriers to entry for art. It can tell a realistic story or set us in a world of realism. And there's probably other things, but I'm trying to think of the positives for this movie. And I think those are some positives of this being a found footage film. But watching this again, I was like, this kind of has everything that's wrong about the found footage genre, I think. In a lot of ways, this is a perfect illustration of why I think some people would dislike this genre. So it's set in Humboldt County, California. We follow Jim, played by Bryce Johnson, who is a stout believer in Bigfoot, and his girlfriend, Kelly, played by Alexi Gilmore, who is a skeptic. They travel to Six Rivers National Forest in Northern California, where Jim plans to shoot his own Bigfoot footage at the site of the Patterson-Gimlin film. So, like many found footage, this starts off with meeting our characters and getting like just normal footage. And, they're actually going to this, the town where everything is Bigfoot. It seems like a pretty fun town to go to.
It does.
I want to try the Bigfoot burger. Okay. A plot line in this movie is that the boyfriend is just that this girl should break up with her boyfriend, and I don't think are meant to be together. And it's so much more obvious the more times you watch it that they're, setting this up. But I also think it's tough because I think Alexi Gilmore I think she's a pretty competent actress. I think she carries. I don't know about Bryce Johnson, and he's not likable. And I'm not saying that's bad. That can be part of the plot, but it was tough. Like, the whole time I'm just like, girl, like, she is the best girlfriend ever. And in a realistic way, where she's not like, here, honey, here, like, let me be the perfect woman for you. Like, she's, I think, a realistic good partner where she's helping him. She's in the entertainment industry. So when she's filming, she tries to say like action. And he's like, babe, don't say action. That throws me off. But then later when he's interviewing people, he doesn't know when to start talking because she stopped saying action. So she was right. She's not lying and saying like, yes, babe, I totally believe in Bigfoot. She doesn't believe, but she knows this has been a dream of his. So she's like, yeah, I know, babe. Like, I know this is something you've wanted to do. So I'm supporting you. What more could you ask for? And this guy's a total dick. Like, we learn that she's an aspiring actress. Thus, she wants to move to LA. Makes sense. And he's instantly just like, oh, well, I'm not going because everybody there, a bunch of idiots. And bro, like, just like, I don't know. I both like that he's an asshole. I think that's a fine plot point, but it also, I don't know. The whole time I was just like, I want her to get away so badly. It was frustrating because also he clearly has. Well, okay, I'll get into it. So the two stop at Willow Creek, the Bigfoot capital of the world, where Jim starts interviewing the various locals about Bigfoot. I think this part is kind of dry at times. I think it could be a little bit shorter, but it is pretty realistic. I think all the actors they got to tell the stories, they do feel like real people, and they could be. At a restaurant, they notice a missing woman on a poster on the wall. Put a pin in that. While they're heading into the forest in search of the Patterson-Gimling filming location, they encounter a man who angrily tells them to leave, but Jim and Kelly ignore him. And so they park and just waltz into the woods. And this is the one part where I will say, hey, Kelly, if you're following, I really think, guys, if you're going hiking or anything like this, don't leave it up to somebody else. You should also, I think, be competent enough to help yourself, because you just know this guy doesn't know where he's just like, okay, let's go. No map, no compass. And that would give me pause. I would want to know where I was. And if a bunch, because this is like the second time, like earlier, they're taking a video with the statue, and a guy's like, it's not funny. Like, you shouldn't joke about it. That would work on me. I'd be like, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah, I do too. I just like setting off like the way they do just made me so nervous. It reminded me of that Canadian film that we've covered on the podcast about the bear attack.
Yes.
Yeah, similarly, I mean, I think the guy does have a compass in that one, but he's also relying on his memory of like when he camped as a kid. So here this guy he knows the route, I guess, or at least feels like he does. The route that the original filmmakers took. But yeah, it made me really scared. Just like they just seem to be heading out into the woods when they've had numerous warnings not to.
Yes. And the people have told them about animals like, bears and I think like bobcats and stuff. And like that would work on me. I'd be like, oh, there, you saw one bear?
Yeah.
Say no more. And like this, one of the stories a guy tells is like his dog was like mauled by some animal out there. Like, that's horrible. So, but they're foolish. And this part kind of I was like, am I getting older? Because this movie never made me nauseous before, but I had to look away because it's a lot of just like walking with the camera. And I was like, oh.
It is like you were saying before, it's like some of like what not to do in a found footage film. And that's okay if you have a short like chase scene or something like that. But this is a lot of walking and the camera is really bobbing up and down. And I hate that. So yeah, it was,
I thought of you
too much.
Yeah. Don't do that, guys. I want to watch your film because it's the one thing I'll say, beautiful. Location was gorgeous. And that was nice to look at when it wasn't bobbing all over the place. So they set up camp. I'm getting mad along with Kelly about Jim because he's so annoying. Like, he's not helping her while she's setting up the tent. She's clearly feeling antsy. And I don't know. I feel like if I had a girlfriend this chill and cool, I simply would not put her through this. That's just me. So, she's annoyed, but he's like, oh, let me show you this place. And he brings her to this little creek and, he goes skinny dipping, and that puts her back in a good mood because she's like, wow, this is beautiful. But when they come back, his sock is in the tree and the camp is trashed. I'm out. I'm leaving.
The sun's still up. It's
Yeah.
a perfect time to just
There you
pack
go.
up and go. Now, but one thing about him, he's been thinking about this since he was a kid. Like,
True.
this is his lifelong dream. And so I think it makes sense that it would take a lot more than this to deter him. But for me, I'm heading back to the car.
Yeah. And I know I've complained a lot about him being annoying. I do think it's done well because I think it is part of the plot that this guy is not a good boyfriend. And I think it's done pretty well where he is just kind of negging her a little bit. Like, he'll tell her to shut up. Like, he'll kind of gaslight her into being like, this isn't a big deal. When, like, no, if you come back and your shit is everywhere and you were gone for 5 seconds, that means the thing is right there, whatever it is. And, you know, I think that is done well, but it is kind of tough to watch and to sympathize with him as a character because I only see flaws. So that evening, they're in the tent and, you know, they've got a camera with, like, you know, the light on, and Jim proposes to Kelly on camera. I love this scene. I'm so glad she's like, you know, I just think this actress does such a good job because she's playing this fine line of like, no, but she's trying not to hurt his feelings. And I think that's very real. Like, she's just smiling at him like, you know, I care a lot about you. And it's painful. And she says, I don't know what to say. He goes, you can start by saying yes. No. Pack it up, bud.
She's smiling the whole time. And I feel like she's like, you can't be serious. Like, yes. I don't know how long they've been dating. I don't think they live in the same place. Mm-hmm. So there are all these practical considerations that you would have. So yes, it's very sweet, I guess. But like in that other movie with the bear attack, what is it called? Like Black Mountain or something? I can't remember what it's called. The same thing happens. And in that one, it's just really awkward. And it's kind of like in The Strangers where it just like puts a kibosh on the whole evening. Here, she's like, but look, like, we don't know each other that well, or we have these obstacles that we would have to overcome, like living in the same place, a place you don't want to live. So no, it's ridiculous. So I really love her.
Me too. She's my hero. I like that she stands up for herself and she says like, but what if we live together? And so, you know, and if I was her, I'd be having a lot of doubt for this guy who just said, oh, I'll never live in LA. And she's like, and he's like, well, yeah, sure, I'll do that. She's like, really? You'll live in LA? Yeah, babe, of course. What do you mean, of course? You just acted like that was the dumbest suggestion ever. So throw the whole man away. But so they kiss. Creepy found footage moment. I feel like this happens in so many found footage movies where they start kissing and she's like, you gonna turn the camera off? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he pretends to turn it off and she's like, okay, turn the goddamn camera off. Gross. I guess maybe it would be cute funny if I didn't dislike this guy. Like maybe if he had the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just like, weird behavior. So then it's like the same setup. The camera comes back on, and what ensues is like a 20-minute static shot, which I have some mixed feelings about. I think it's a bold move to have a 20-minute static shot of your actors. I think they have to really be good. And I think in this moment, I think both of them do a pretty good job. And I think it has to build tension. And I think the first time I watched it, and maybe even the second time, it did. But the third time, it felt too long, a little bit too long. But, you know, I think if it's your first time watching, the tension is mounting because she hears something. And, you know, at first, I mean, you're just looking at their faces kind of being like looking like they're trying to hear. Now, I have a few questions. There's another found footage thing, which is if I think there is a beast in the night, pitch black forest, what I'm not going to do is put my light on, right where I am. I get you have to do that to look at the actors' faces. They didn't have enough money, I guess, for like night vision, but it makes no sense. And to even have the characters kind of lampshade it and be like, should we have the light on? And he's like, no, we need the light on. Why? That makes no sense. But I digress. I do think this is the strongest part of the movie. They start hearing weird noises like, at first the guy's like, oh, there's not anything. And they're thinking maybe it's just the locals fucking with us. But then they hear like, it sounds like wood being smashed together. And Mr. Bigfoot expert here is like kind of excited about it. He's like, kind of sounds like knocking. She's like, what? Like, what's knocking? And he's like, it's, them knocking a piece of wood together. Do you think a bear would do that? He's such a dick. And
no, but a human being would. I'm like,
right? That would fit. I'm like, it's not Bigfoot. It's a freak. And then they hear like, woo, woo, like sounds like a human would make that noise. Doesn't have to be, which is her point where she's like, we've already had 2 people tell us not to come here.
Right.
It's them. But that is scary. Like, I don't know where I am. Pitch black. They could kill me. I don't know. So it's pretty scary. The tension is mounting, and we have a few moments where like a rock is thrown at the tent, and Kelly screams, and they can hear something coming outside. I think the sound design is really good because it's you can hear like your brain can make out like this is a sound from far away, it's getting closer, and something begins to press on the side of the tent. That part is really good because it's just like, what is happening? And then they also kind of hear the sound of a woman crying, which really gives Kelly a lot of pause because she's like, should we help her? Like, what's happening? And then the scene ends. What did you think about
Kelly's scene? Good. I thought it was great. I mean, it is really long. I think it's 18 minutes long. It's really funny. In the letterbox comments, there people are like 30, 40 minutes of this. But it is a static shot. And at first, you just see their faces and they're just sort of looking off, like as if they're trying to focus on hearing something. But she's crying at the end. I mean, she's like full on sobbing. She's so scared, which I really like, because sometimes I don't feel like we see people crying, and I feel like that's where I would go to. If I'm scared enough, I'm going to actually be, crying. Yeah, you can hear the footsteps like approaching the tent and then kind of retreating, and then the footsteps come back through the brush, and I thought it was really, really good, really scary.
Yeah, I think they carry it. Like if they were bad actors, it would not be good. But Kelly really, she sells it.
Yeah, for sure.
So the couple decides to leave at dawn. And here's where we have kind of our Blair Witch moment where obviously Jim don't know where the fuck he is. He also does not have the same sense of urgency that Kelly has. He discovers like a clump of gray fur or hair attached to this log. And I do like this scene because Kelly's being made to film and she's kind of like, can you hurry it up? And he's like, yeah, I am. And he's not. And so she's like, Jim, please. And I think this felt really real of just like, why are we not on the same page here? I'm scared. Like, can we go? He's still got a little bit of excitement, which I think I would also find inappropriate if I was her. So they wander for hours until they end up at that same log. I like this scene too, because Kelly just is like you said, I think I also would just feel so hopeless. And she's just like, I want to go home. And that felt so real. Yeah. And she's like, we see her kind of just stop and like have a moment. He's like, what is it? She's like, we just went in a circle. Like they're back at the same log. And he's like, no, he's gaslighting. He's like, no, we're not. She's like, I've got it on tape. Like, we're at the same spot. Like, you don't know where you're going. And so that's pretty stressful. So they end up on this like shore area, and then there's, we don't really see it, but there's something in the bushes and they run. Okay. This last part, I ranted about it to Alan because I can forgive the tent scene. I can forgive camera on faces, lights on in the tent scene, because you know what? Great scene. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but okay, you didn't have enough money for night vision. Just put a night vision filter on, by the way. But okay, I accept. This last scene, they're running. It's the night. They don't know where they are. Something's about to get them. It's like final 4 minutes of the movie. They're sitting somewhere in the forest, and Kelly's got this big stick. You don't even need special effects. I think camera light pointed at the forest and you got a crew member running around. That would freak me out. But the camera's pointed at their faces. And it really makes no sense, because what are they looking at then? What light are they looking at in this pitch black forest? And if there's something coming to get them, why would they be like, here it is. Here's the beacon. Come get us. Yeah. That pissed me off. I was just like, I'm not stupid. Because you can be low budget. Get creative. I don't know. I really went on a rant, and I was like, you know what? It's disrespectful, because no creativity. Just put the camera on the damn woods.
Well, also, they got up at dawn and they've been walking all day. Okay. I would set up the tent anyway.
Yeah.
Just don't put the light on. But, I mean, I don't know. It's better than just being like sitting ducks, like sitting out there in the open air. That's the part I didn't understand.
Yeah. I really feel like they just were like, I don't know, let's end the movie.
We gotta end the movie.
So then, they see like the camera finally turns around and pans up. We see like a naked woman, and a casual viewer would never know that this is the case. But, if you look it up later, this is the woman from the missing poster. So, because there's like a whole Bigfoot legend about like the wives of Bigfoot. So, an unseen creature attacks them. We can hear like tearing sounds. He's obviously killing Jim. And then, Kelly's like, help me, help me. We don't see anything because they don't have any budget or creativity to depict anything. We just hear it. And then for some reason, the camera is just pulled. And that's, again, where I was like, fuck you. Like, I can see the cameraman doing it, be like, oh, and you know what would be scary? We just pull the camera around like down the grass. It's not scary.
Actually, I did think that was scary, because I thought that must be Jim holding onto the camera and just being like yanked like backwards through the brush. I thought it was pretty scary.
It made no sense, because if it was attached to him, like in like Gonjam Haunted Asylum,
yeah,
that would make sense. But if something's ripping you apart, I just don't know how you hold on to a whole camera. But yeah. I think at this point, I was already being a little bit critical in my head. So I accept that maybe I'm being a stinker. And then the movie ends.
There is something really frightening about the camera moving backwards at that rate of speed. Anyway, so I think Bobcat knew that much, that'll get him.
Yeah.
Got me.
And so, then we hear like the 3 like whoop, whoop noises. So is Bigfoot real? We don't know, but something bad happened. Well, here's some trivia. Bobcat Goldthwait did all of the throaty noises for Bigfoot. I like to imagine that. That's fun. The script was essentially a 25-page outline. Goldthwait figures nearly 80% of their dialogue is improvised. Good for them. That's amazing.
Yeah. You can tell in a good way and a bad way. I think he says one too many times, "Are you serious?" Like, and I get that people have verbal tics and they say the same kind of things over and over, but that was really annoying to me.
Yeah. I think it works if you're a good actor, and it doesn't work if you're a bad actor. And I think at times he was good, but when there's such a disparity, I think, in skill, it makes it seem more obvious. And I think she was great.
Yeah.
The police were called after they filmed the final scenes with Gilmore and Johnson screaming at the top of their lungs. They came to investigate, but were satisfied that they were just a bunch of weirdos making a movie. That's funny. The film crew had made Bigfoot prints in the riverbed for the film, and they felt bad that they wrapped filming of Willow Creek and left without erasing them. I'm sure they're not the first people to do that. Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Denudi gave it a half star. Genuinely, what the fuck is this shit movie, bro? Oof. Matthew DeRoker gave it a half star. Ass on ass. We got the ass review. Miss Erica gave it a half star. This is the first movie since Halloween Ends that has legitimately pissed me the fuck off. I'm going to bed. Good night. That's funny. Michael Odom gave it 5 stars. I believe it was rednecks all along. I do too.
I do too.
I think that is still scary.
Super scary.
Yeah. She Dies Last gave it 5 stars. This is a genuine, non-ironic opinion, but I love the bones of this movie. It's a bit of a trek getting to the goodies, but it's just a class movie. I'm a sucker for found footage and Detective Wilden. Who's that?
I think it's a combination of the two original filmmakers of the Bigfoot.
Oh, I see. Nikki DePapp gave it 5 stars. Okay movie. A found footage movie about Bigfoot. There is no way that will be worth watching. Wrong. This short, easy movie is fun to watch and actually quite scary. Mission accomplished. How would we rate it? How about Bigfoot prints?
Okay. I would give it 3. That's the lowest I go unless it's racist or homophobic or transphobic or sexist or, just generally a piece of shit movie. So the lowest I go is 3. So I'm going to give it a 3.
I think I'll give it 3 too. I think it's okay. I think
it's fine.
Watching it once, don't watch it more than once. You might ruin your opinion of it. What have we learned? Take a map with you.
Take a compass.
Take a compass. Know your way out.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, definitely. Like compare notes. Like, okay, before you set out, here's the route we're taking. Do you see the route? Yes, I see the route. And so what's your compass set to? Great. So is mine. And
yeah.
And then you have a plan and like, are you going to leave at dawn? Like, how long are you going to stay on this funky trip?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I wouldn't go. I mean, it put me off camping. I'm just like, well, I'm never going camping.
Not like that.
Because if the best case scenario is it's human beings, that's a fucking bad case scenario.
Yeah. And then bears? No, thank you.
Bears, no.
It did make me think of that bear movie and made me think like, I think I'd rather be watching that movie right now, honestly.
Yeah, well, I think it's a better movie.
Would we watch it again? No. 3 was enough. Favorite scene and or kill? Gotta be the tent scene.
Yeah. Me too.
Who wins the UFOOL Award? I think both of them.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah.
But mostly him.
Yes. And, he already was fumbling. In life, he was already a fool for fumbling what I thought was a good partner. And then he got her killed. Or he actually got her worse. I think he got the better end of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, she's kidnapped by people or animals unknown.
Not good.
So, not good. So that was Willow Creek. Oh, this movie.
Yeah. I think if I had seen this as a kid, it would have scarred me for life.
Oh, no doubt. There was at one point I was said, nope.
It's so scary. And it doesn't let up ever. There's never like a, okay, we can chill right now. The whole time it's like, be scared.
Okay, ho-hos. Our second film is called Incantation. Here's a short plot summary from IMDb. 6 years ago, Lee Ronan was cursed after breaking a religious taboo. Now she must protect her daughter from the consequences of her actions. This was directed by Kevin Ko, screenplay by Chung Chae-wei and Kevin Ko, starring Tsai Husan Yun, Huang Xin-ting, Cao Ying-san, and Sean Lin and RQ. Cinematography by Chen Ko-chin and edited by Kevin Ko. Music by Rockid Lee. The release date is March 18th, 2022, and it has a running time of 111 minutes. How did you feel about this runtime, Mac?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Judge Mac has decided. You gave me a good enough reason.
Okay, cool. All right, so the one thing to note about this movie is it's told out of order. There are lots of flashbacks and things are out of order, but the plot is written in order. A woman named Lee Ronan implores the viewer to memorize an insignia and chant an incantation to send blessings and lift the curse afflicting her 6-year-old daughter Dodo. The insignia and incantation are interspersed frequently throughout the film to encourage the viewer to pray along. The events are presented as found footage in a non-linear manner. And immediately you take this woman seriously.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
grave.
you don't really know why. Yeah, she's really good. And you know from the beginning that we're dealing with some seriously messed up stuff. 6 years earlier, a newly pregnant Ronan, her boyfriend Dom, and Dom's cousin Yuan break a serious religious taboo while documenting a ritual for their online video channel. Oh, they're so cute. They're called the Ghostbusters.
I love them.
They're so adorable. They don't know what they're in for. They're just going up to Dom's family's place.
What I thought was interesting, I was looking up just because there's a lot written up about this movie. And so first off, I want to say I'm only going off of things people on the internet said, and I am not a part of this culture at all. But I read that, Taiwanese and Chinese culture is like pretty superstitious, and that what I thought was interesting was somebody said that they even found these characters in a way unrealistic because they found it crazy that somebody would go this far breaking a religious taboo. That, like, of course there are atheists everywhere, or just people who don't believe in God, but like that this would really, like, not even just in the context of this movie, but this would be like you are fucked up in the head for doing this. And obviously, I think we have some of that. Like, people get in, like, for example, American Christians get mad at stuff a lot. But the vibe I got was that it seemed like I don't know, like defacing a beloved statue or something, where it would just be like, what's wrong with you? So I thought that was interesting that, this probably had further implications for like a viewer of the culture of just like, wow, you fucked up.
Yeah. They visit Dom and Yuan's relatives in a remote clan mountain village where the villagers practice an esoteric Yunnan religion centered around an ancestral deity called Mother Buddha. I loved all the art that kind of went along with Mother Buddha. There's a tapestry that's hanging in one of the rooms that we get to see a lot of the iconography around this deity.
I love an angry female god.
Mm-hmm. And in that same room, there are all these little figurines, and they're all faced away from the viewer. So you walk in and they're all turned away from you. And then, of course, that sets up a scare later where they're all like simultaneously like facing toward the people. See, former movies, like there are ways to like be really creative with your scares, and it doesn't take a whole bunch.
No, and the set in this movie, oh my God, like this village is so amazing. Like, however they set this up, like everything looks so lived in, like it looks so remote and so like, I don't know. I think you made such a good point about like you take Ronan seriously. I feel like you take everything in this movie seriously because you're just like, it's so believable of like, oh, these people are like about this life.
Yeah. They spy on the clan preparing a child for sacrifice. I didn't get that. I mean, I saw that there was a child involved, and they had all of these verses written all over her skin, but I didn't. Did you get it that they were preparing her for sacrifice?
I guess I only got it because Ronan seemed so like, let's save her, that I was like, oh, I guess she's in danger, but I didn't know that that's what was happening. But I guess I only interpreted it as maybe feeling like these are some really intense people. This child might be in danger because they're so, we don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of like, when they get there, they're so like, what the fuck are you, like, what's she doing here? She's not a part of the family. Like, they're intense.
The unconscious child, whose body is covered in runes, is left in front of a tunnel that the clan has expressly forbidden the trio from entering. Dom and Yuan enter the tunnel. Yuan soon emerges screaming, while Dom's dead body is carried out by the villagers.
Great scene.
Well, this whole scene is just amazing. It's so intricate inside the tunnel. Like, there are mirrors facing mirrors. There's this old like Indian statue, and it's like of Shiva or something, and all the arms have been cut off, and that was the scene. Like all the arms are like dangling from the ceiling.
Like, where was this tunnel? Like, it's so cool looking. It's so scary. Like, you could not pay me to go into this tunnel. Like, Jesus, it's so creepy. And like, there's all these little Buddhas like pointing in one direction. Nope, I'm out. And I also read that like mirrors are, I mean, I feel like a lot of cultures, including ours, have the whole like broken mirror, bad luck, but that mirrors are meant to like reflect, I guess, the negative or bad energy out. So there's mirrors covering the tunnel entrance, and they break them to get in. I was like, oh, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Absolutely.
Why?
There are these cloth. So there's this figure that's at the center of this religion, this like drawing that we see several times when the mother encourages us to pray along with her for the sake of her child. And that is I don't know what I'm trying to say, like a representation of that drawing is in the form of these like cloth figures that is like covering up one of the entranceways to like the tunnel. And they just cut through that. They just knife through that. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You're breaking like the integrity of the figure in order to get through this tunnel, and it's just, you just have this sense of dread every time they go a little level deeper into the passageway.
I guess that was one thing where it almost seems odd that they are a part of this family, because one, you're like, how do they not know more
Yeah.
about this religion? Why is the family even letting these two bozos, even if they're in the family, to be there? And then why would they not think that the family will like be like, oh, hey, did you like fuck up our whole shrine in there? Like, they're just kind of going it. Like, the fact that he even broke the entrance, I still love the movie, and it doesn't take away from it. But I guess you are just like, whoa, okay, geez, oh my God, you're really going for it.
Yeah. When they carry Dom's body out, his face is covered with a piece of cloth, so we don't know. We realize later what he's done, but we don't know what he's done to himself. And Yuan actually kills himself by jumping off the top of the building moments later. The footage shot within the tunnel by Dom and Yuan has since become damaged. After Dodo is born, Ronan leaves her at a foster care home and seeks psychiatric help. But there's a lot that happens to her at the village site. Like, for one thing, it looks like she has a miscarriage because she's all bloody at one point, like all of a sudden. So anyway, really traumatic kind of a scene that we flash back to. We don't get this like at the beginning of the film.
There's a part where she passes by and like all the old men have all the runes written on their bodies, and they're just kind of they almost look like an animal hung in like a store window or something. Like they're all just kind of standing there, and then they like kind of just turn and look at her while she walks past. Oh my God, it's so scary.
So I guess what we're saying, Wojos, is religion is really scary.
I was saying to Al, I was describing the movie to him last night, and I was saying like, okay, I accept that maybe this is some part of me being like, oh, this is a different culture, hence this is cool and or exotic or scary. I think subconsciously there might be a bit of that, but I was saying to him that like I did not grow up religious, so stuff with the devil or anything like that, it has no like actual weight. Like when I see a movie like The Conjuring or like The Nun, I'm just like, this is like any other scary thing to me. I don't have that religious fear to fall back on. And I think when there's like a zealot in like a horror movie, what's scary to me more so is like, oh, this person is dangerous because maybe they believe I'm a danger to them. Like that's a feeling I can relate to, but like breaking a taboo itself doesn't scare me. But I feel like this movie, it does that very well, where again, I am not of this culture, so perhaps that is part of it, that it just seems different to me. But I think it's built up so much in the movie too, to where I'm like, they fucked up. Like they shouldn't have done that. Where like with like movies where somebody might do that and like, you know, and get possessed by a devil, I'm kind of like, it's the plot of the movie. But this one, I'm like, woo, you guys are in trouble. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Well, I think there's something, I mean, yeah, being outside of the Taiwanese culture, I'm sure, you know, it feels like there's that extra layer of distance, but also this is a folk religion. And so it just sort of seems more primitive or something like that. It's sort of like in The Wailing, like all the religious, like, you know, cutting, you know, killing the roosters and, you know, bathing in their blood and all this other stuff. It's like, holy shit, this doesn't resemble anything that I know about any kind of religious practice. And so that seems like all of these, there's blood here too. And there's like one scene at the religious site where the little girl brings out these frogs. And that shouldn't be scary, I guess, all by itself. I mean, kids like do that kind of thing. But to me, I was just like, with like the blood dripping from the ceiling and everything else, I'm just like, get out of there. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, it's just all pretty scary stuff.
I think,
And go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, like, I think the characters being so modern in a way, like they're all dressed very just like, your everyday person. They've got a camera, they're filming for like a YouTube channel. It all feels very modern. So I think they make great characters being dropped into this setting because they seem so freaked out by it. Like, so you even if you have no context of what, what your everyday religious person might look like in this culture, they seem put off by it. So you can kind of be like, oh, okay, this is some out there shit, maybe.
Yeah. What we realize Dom has done is he has killed himself by bashing his face into a wall. And that's why he comes out all bloodied and his face covered up with a cloth.
There's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah. In the present, Ronan has recovered and is preparing to bring Dodo to live with her, feeling ready for this new chapter in her life. However, Dodo becomes troubled by a malevolent presence and develops a debilitating illness. When social workers arrive to take Dodo away, believing Ronan to be an unfit guardian, the mother and daughter escape with the help of Ming, the sympathetic manager of the foster home. They bring Dodo to a shrine where a priest and his wife instruct her not to eat for the next 7 days. However, when runes begin appearing all over Dodo's body, Ronan desperately feeds her. The priest and his wife are then violently killed, and Dodo's condition worsens.
I think horror movies that take like the setting, the backdrop of this is a mother like who could be seen by others as an unfit mother. It's such a great way to build tension and immediately make us be like, I don't want anything bad to happen to her, because you're rooting for her so much. You're like, she really wants to be a good mom. And, you're thinking like, she's trying to do this all on her own and I want her to succeed. And I think it just tugs at the heartstrings. So that's a great way to immediately build tension. Cause then whenever anything bad happens, you're like, oh, fuck, they're going to take her away. Like, and I think that is so good. Cause all the stuff in the beginning, like, Bohos, when I tell you this movie does not really give you a second to breathe, like it's pretty constant. And I do think it's exhausting, but I liked it. And in the beginning, when she first brings Dodo home, weird shit starts happening in the apartment. And like at one point, this one scene really got me, probably because Alan also came home right when I was watching it. And I was like, oh, but Dodo's in bed crying out for her mom. And she's like, there's a baddie on the ceiling. It wants you to hold his hand and help him down. And so the mom's just kind of standing in the middle, holding her arm up. And she keeps being like, do I have its hand now? And she's like, keep going. And I just kept expecting her hand to like kind of look crunched or something, which didn't happen, but you're like thinking that will happen. And Ronan is also kind of like, what the fuck is like, what's going to happen? And a lot of that's going on. And like, Dodo's hitting kids at school. She's biting kids. And you're just so worried you want this family to work out.
Yeah, definitely. There's one scene that really scared the crap out of me. Dodo has the camera and it's like, she's talking to somebody and she's like, okay, upstairs. And she like goes upstairs basically to this roof and she's like, then what? And then she like puts her legs over the side of this like wall. And I'm just like, how did they shoot this? I mean, It looks like she's like 18 stories up or whatever, but I just wondered how they shot that. That was really incredible. And
Yeah.
she jumps off the edge, and then but there's a she doesn't fall very far at all. She, not even the length of her own body. So she's able to get back up and climb back over. But oh my God, I was so scared. Oh man.
Yeah.
This is terrifying.
And you've been building up the idea that, and I loved this plot aspect too, which is that Ronan believes that if you view the footage, you are something like you'll just be cursed. And so we, the viewer, have not seen the footage yet, but in the background, there's a lot of like information happening. Like, we see her talking to her psychiatrist who's like, I watched the footage. Like, you don't have to be scared. And then you hear on the radio later that like there was a gas explosion and she specifically died. That like, you got to catch these things. Or like a footage of this one lady who puts like a glass blower thing in her mouth. And so that scene ends with like Dodo, like Ronan finds her in this room watching the footage, and you're just like, no, oh God, oh no. and like it's so hectic. Like Ronan's driving and she's like, I told you to stay seated. And it just, I think this movie just does both tension, and then when shit goes wrong, you're like, no.
Yeah, that with the glass blowing scene, that part like really got me. And there's like not it, like the kids scream and that's it. The scene cuts off and you don't see any resolution to that at all. It's just like terrifying stuff. I'm getting like scared after the fact, like talking about this movie. Ming travels to Yunnan to consult an elder monk who specializes in translating esoteric Buddhist scriptures and has the damaged tunnel footage professionally restored. After watching the restored footage, he becomes possessed and kills himself. Oh, that's pretty rough.
He was a good guy.
Yeah, good guy. And it's the typical banging yourself on your laptop till you're dead. Ronan confesses that she has been deceiving the viewers all along. The priest whom Ming visited in Yunnan revealed that Mother Buddha is, in fact, a malevolent entity brought from Southeast Asia to Yunnan. Submitting one's name along with the incantation signifies agreement to bear her curse. Rather than conveying blessings, the incantation actually serves to dilute the curse. As more people chant it, the curse spreads, reducing the burden on any single individual and resulting in fewer misfortunes befalling them. Mother Buddha's face must remain covered because it is the source of the curse.
I love anything that's like the more you know, the more fucked you are. That's such a good plot point.
Yeah, it is. I think they say that in the trailer. The more you know about this curse, the more damned you are, or whatever. Ronan returns Dodo to the foster home and travels back to the tunnel in the now abandoned village. At the altar, she reveals Mother Buddha's face on camera, intending to curse the viewers in order to save her daughter. She then becomes possessed and dies. That's putting it lightly. She smashes her head into
the classic
a brick and kills herself. The film concludes with a happy and healthy Dodo, implying that the burden of her curse has been shared with everyone who watched the film, thereby lessening its effects.
And the face is like not a face. It looks like a tunnel of holes is all I can describe it as. Like it looks like it goes on forever and is pretty creepy. And yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say, it does beg the question when you're watching where you're like, now who got the footage and who made this movie? Because she killed herself immediately after. So, but I'll let it slide.
There are a couple of awkward moments like that. Like even when she's documenting everything, like she sets the camera somewhere and then she like tilts it so she can watch herself like brushing her teeth, but that's all sort of in the context of her mental illness around this like event. So it all sort of makes sense. But yeah, for a found footage film, I mean, it's pretty convincing.
Yeah.
Throughout most of it. Well, here's some trivia. The film was released in Taiwan on March 18th, 2022, and it became the highest grossing Taiwanese horror film.
Wow.
This is really sad. The movie was inspired by an incident that occurred in 2005 in the district of Gushan, Kaohsiung, Taiwan. A family of 6 people claimed that they were possessed by evil entities from Chinese folklore. The oldest daughter died, and the other members of the family were arrested. Ultimately, the surviving family members were released when it was determined the daughter had starved herself to death in the belief she could drive the deity out of her body. The most anyone could be charged with under Chinese law was the equivalent of improper disposal of a corpse after the rest of the family abandoned her body outside of a hospital before leaving town.
That's sad.
So sad. Briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Happy Unicorn gave it 5 stars. Great movie, scared the shit out of me. Boyfriend recommended. I'm still mad at him. Farheen gave it 5 stars. It's almost 3 a.m. Sis gave it whoever recommended this is evil out of 5. Nana gave it 5 stars. I think this was the best horror movie I've seen low key. I have no complaints, but I want to know what that random room on top of her building was. Who put it there was so random.
Yeah.
The roof?
Yeah, like she did have like also a room, I guess, that was filled with like Buddhas, because I didn't quite understand this, but I guess she was selling it, and like the realtor's like, and did you want to keep the room full of Buddhas because the people don't like it? But the building also looked abandoned, so I was like, how does she own this? So, but I let it slide.
Bam Biv gave it a half star. Watch this with my eyes closed and eyes plugged into the loudest, jolliest song known to man.
Fair.
I think they meant ears, but okay. Pyrorg gave it a half star. This movie was 111 minutes too long.
Boo!
I'm a bigger fan of this movie after talking about it.
Really?
And I would like to watch it again. Just spoiler alert for that part.
I think looking up like stuff like about, you know, the religious culture made me appreciate it even more. I already really liked it, but because I also read that that there was a mixed reception in Taiwan and China. And I guess I'm thinking if you were a very superstitious person, I could see watching this and being like, hey, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. I don't want none of that. And so I could see not liking it if you were very much like, no, please don't curse me.
Definitely. David Villegas gave it a half star. My girlfriend lied. She said you could see the monster.
You saw her hand at one point, so.
I liked all those reviews because a lot of them were talking about other people. So that's one of my favorite kind of Letterboxd reviews. How would we rate it? Oh, gosh.
Runes?
I suppose so. I was trying to find something safe.
4.5 runes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really good rating for it. I think this is a really strong horror film. It's legit scary.
Yeah. I left feeling I was in a bad mood after I watched it, but in a good way. Like I was satisfied by it, and I did have to cleanse my palate, and it was dark when I finished it, and I was kind of like, but you know, I again, like this, it was satisfying also in the way of like, I think maybe I'm past the age, or I've seen so many horror movies at this point to where the idea of getting cursed by this holds no weight in my brain. And I more so was thinking, gosh, if I had seen this at like 13 or 14, I think this would have like, because I watched some movies that were not to this caliber that freaked me out so much at that age, to where I was Googling like, how to not be scared of movie. And like had to tell myself like, they're all actors. It's not real, you know? And I think this would have done that to me. So I love it for that.
It's so intricate, like just like the set design and stuff at the village is just so intricate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really amazing. And the acting is great. It's just really, really strong.
Yeah. Shout out to the actress for Lee Ronan, because she most of the movie is her, and she did a phenomenal job.
What have we learned?
Don't fuck with, you know, hey, if there is a shrine, if there is a group of people who are minding their own business, by the way, this, you know, I'm not saying
they were
you should
kill
cut
that kid.
You know, sure. But, you know, that's not my problem.
Other than that, we think they were just following their religion.
Yeah, so don't mess with it, you know.
I mean, the idea that your religion is basically, you know, a curse, and you're just trying to spread this curse far and wide, is pretty evil.
But hey, if we all have it, maybe you'll just stub your toe sometimes. You won't like,
that's right,
bash your head in. And when it was just like, you know, her daughter who really had it, I would take the curse to help that little girl. Like, she didn't deserve that. And oh, I forgot to mention, I love the ending like monologue from Lee about how, you know, she's talking about how she feels about being a mom. And she's like, I don't know if I feel this way towards you because I feel guilty for doing this to you. But when I saw you, or like, you know, she said, I didn't feel immediately attached when I saw you, but now taking care of you, like, I love you. It was very sweet. And I think that felt really vulnerable. And I like that it wasn't just I would have still taken like I'm a mom, I love my kid, I'm going to help her. I would have been like, okay, sure. But this felt like a real thing of like, I didn't even want to be in this position, but I have you. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect you. I was like, wow, I feel that.
Would we watch it again?
Yes.
I would. Did you have a favorite scene or kill?
I guess the scenes in the tunnel. I just loved that tunnel. I think that was a scary setting.
That definitely was. There's one of the people who at the hospital, at the children's hospital, who tell her that she shouldn't let the child eat for 7 days. She does feed her kid, of course, you know, after a certain number of days. And even though she makes her throw up, you know, that's not good enough for the entity. And this woman basically, I don't know, like, tears her own head open. No, it's just, and the camera just keeps cutting back to her over and over and over again. I will not forget that. That was just like, just scary and spooky and just awful.
Yeah. And just her being like, you fed her, didn't you? You're like, yeah. She did. I felt bad for those two because they were even like, don't feed her. We'll die if you do it.
Yeah.
And still she fed her.
But 7 days. I mean, so and then long. She couldn't give medicine, or she couldn't have the doctors give her medicine unless she fed her. And then she set up the IV herself, and oh man.
I hate that stuff.
Who wins the You Fool award?
Those three bozos.
I think, yeah. Also, just don't be a ghost hunter.
No.
Like, what are you doing with your life?
Or like go to a building and act like there are scary sounds. Don't go to like your family's like, what are you doing, bro?
They believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about Willow Creek and Incantation. And thank you, WOHOs, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us truly. We appreciate you downloading the show and telling all your friends all about us. Next time, what will we be looking at, Mac? We've got folk horror, spiders, or dolls.
How about spiders?
Okay, this is one that I came up with all by myself.
Woo.
Arachnophobia from the US and Infested from France.
Yippee.
Remember, WOHOs, we love you, and don't go into the basement.
Yay.